All right, folks. So this is one of the free plays I wanted to give out to you all this week. It's PayPal. I think this is going to be a big play. I wanted to get you all in it. I've marked up this chart already, but I wanted to discuss a couple of things that I see and why it has good short-term and long-term potential. So let's get into it. So on this monthly chart, as you can see, this PayPal is coming right down on a bottom channel that it has followed for years. So you can see where those black circles are, around 110 maybe. PayPal has hit the bottom of this channel. It's respective for what, 6-7 years. As you can see, also on the monthly, we're approaching a lot of support levels. So look at all that support down there. These are different lines that I've drawn over the past that cover probably the last few years. It has respected a lot of that support lately. And as you can see, it has like a shooting star candle coming off of a long red candle. I'm seeing a sign of a reversal just because it's jumping back into the support level that was established here in 2019 and back further. I just see this being a bounce point. It's in the channel. If you look at the Bollinger Bands, I could turn these lines off. You can see it's extended outside the Bollinger Bands on the monthly. It's probably headed back up. Fundamentally, PayPal is like a good bet. It has solid financial reports, including income statement, balance sheet, free cash flow, et cetera. And they're also making moves in the crypto space. They're coming out with a stable coin. At least they announced that back in January or so. They've kind of been in the works making deals to allow cryptocurrency buying and selling on their platform. You know, they want to stay relevant, and they have a lot of innovators that are part of that company looking to do that. Now, back to these technicals. On the weekly, you can see here we had a nice strong bullish candle to bounce off from that Bollinger Band kind of touching. And if you go on the daily, you can actually see more of like a bull flag shape pattern. So we had this nice bounce up, and then it's kind of creating the little flag. I think that's going to continue to be a support. If we add our lines back, yeah, bouncing right off of a support there. And oops, I moved the channel a little bit, but let's see if I can undo that. But you can see bouncing off the Bollinger Band on the monthly and I think weekly. Yeah, and hitting this support. Lots of signs that this is headed in the right direction. And then I want to look on the moving averages a little bit, the ribbon that I always make. So moving average ribbon, and as you can see, these moving averages are starting to cross over one another. You probably see it more pronounced on some weekly time frames. Actually, it looks like it's breaking into that. Set the 5 EMA I have set here. Yeah, breaking into the 5 EMA on the weekly. But again, looking at that bull flag formation, looking at, bouncing out the Bollinger Bands, looking at seasonality. PayPal, I think it's one of the summer months. I think it's early summer, like May or June or something, like late spring, early summer. They tend to have like a 100% move up seasonally in that month. You can go to, I think it's stockcharts.com, and look at that yourself. And in April, they actually have like a 75 or 80% seasonality move up in April. So I just feel, I have a gut feeling, and looking at the technicals and fundamentals, feeling that PayPal is headed up. But as you can see, it's kind of resting on these, on the daily, it's resting on these moving averages, 5, 10, 20, and it looks like they're about to cross. That 50 might give us some resistance, but again, that's $10 up, so that's still a $10 move. Depending on the kind of options you purchase, that could be like a $700 to $1,000 play, maybe a little bit less than $1,000, but yeah, even if it just jumps to the 50, you're gonna see, a nice move that makes it worthwhile, right? But yeah, so that's just a look at PayPal, what I see. And even if we look at the naked chart, take off all this, all these lines and stuff, and take the moving averages out. Let's take this moving average out. I mean, you can kind of like see it's falling back into a channel and it's prepared to move back up. And with this influx of all this cryptocurrency and NFTs and all that stuff, you better believe PayPal is starting to make moves in that space, as they already have, you know, announcing the new stablecoin and stuff like that. I think they might create their own, you know, blockchain platform or whatever, or, you know, form a partnership with a major coin, so, or coins. So that's what I see. You know, if you look at and look at the all-time highs, like 310, PayPal's at 115, so it's like already 66% down. So not only is that close to the Fibonacci level of 68% retracement, but I mean, it's pretty far down. And even if you look at RSI, it's on the oversold level on the monthly. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly it's coming back from oversold. Daily, let's see where we're at daily. I mean, it's made its move up, but again, look at the MACD is crossed over on the daily. Like it just, and it has a gap to fill here as well from like, what is that? Like 170 from 140. So like a $30 gap it has to close. There's so many reasons that this stock is ready to move up. So I just thought I'd let you all know about it. And, you know, if I were to place a trade on this, I would actually buy shares on PayPal. I think PayPal is going to continue to appreciate in value, you know, as this whole new fintech wave, you know, kind of becomes the norm. You could buy shares. You could buy short-term options. I would give it like a little more than 3 months, maybe like a 6-month option. You could do 2-year options if you want. I just have a feeling that PayPal is back on its way up. And especially when this interest rate nonsense, well, not nonsense, but when this interest rate debate kind of subsides and the stock market resumes, yeah, you could see PayPal getting back to its all-time high. If you look, even if you look, last thing, if you look at the channel, you know, the top of that channel, oof, let's move it over here. Even the top of this lower channel, you know, moving back up, if you give it time to move back up, you know, a year out, you know, you're looking at, let's see, so 2023, $200 something, $210. It's got a lot of space to move. And it's like I'm saying, it's back into a very solid level of support. I think this thing is headed up in the next year or two. So good luck trading, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.